No, so in terms of the question asker, I do like Inquisitor.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's Star Wars, that's why you like it.
I didn't even think about the Star Wars.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking. What do they call the guy in the House of Commons?
The Speaker.
Speaker.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker.
What do the QI people call the host? It's not just
Stephen
host.
Fry.
Quizzard.
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 You're a quizzard, Harry.
The Quizzard.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Quizzard.
It sounds like a queefing wizard. Is that the problem?
Is there some pun on Panther and Raccoon that we can have?
Pancoon.
Pancoon? No, not a merge. A pun to do with questioning.
The keeper? Oh, the zookeeper?
The zookeeper.
Raccoons look like little
But it's in the
robbers.
wild. There's no zookeepers in the wild.
It is in the wild.
Would a
isn't it?
zookeeper trap a raccoon in the wild?
The
The poacher.
the Quiz the Beast.
The Quiz to Beast.
Quiz the beast.
The Quiz to Beast. I actually kind of like it. Weirdly.
Oh.
Quiz to Beast. Close to Mr. Beast, though, isn't it?
Oh, no, fuck Mr. Beast. I wouldn't, but...
I've never had this whole conversation about what it could be, but what's the point? Why do we need to call you something?
The
Can I just
Quizzard.
say-
I guess just for listeners to know who we're talking about, because it changes every round. It's kind of hard to go, James, what do you think? Like, wait, what are you this time?
I think we'll just free flow it, and then if we come up with a name or somebody listening to the podcast decides, oh, you should call them, you know, the
yeah. Once we know, it'll be fine.
Welcome to the first ever episode of a little game show we like to call Would a Panther Kill a Raccoon in the Wild? It's a fairly obvious question. What do you say, James?
I mean, it's the question that we're all dying to know the answer to, isn't it?
We're dying.
It is the question that people will go to their graves not knowing unless we three gentlemen here can solve it over a series of episodes.
Well, I guess the answer is who knows, right?
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows?
I mean, 1v1 me, bro.
Well, who
Rust,
knows?
on Rust, snipers only.
Well, who knows? Well, that's exactly the point, is the fact that you know, or at least you're trying to convince the questioner in question that you know more than your opponent in order to win the points. So here's how the game show works. Each episode is made up of 3 rounds where one of us has to ask the other 2 a question or pose a statement where they, the answerers, need to convince their side of the argument enough to get the questioner to side with them.
I think something that we need to add in there as well, Kirk, is we need to make people aware that it is not entirely our choice as to which side we're arguing for. It's going to come down to the toss of a coin as to whether we're for or against some of these questions, which is going to make it really interesting.
So 2 of the rounds are bog standard questions or statements of a ridiculous nature, and our final round is the bonus round, which will change every season. This season is round 3, fight, and we'll explain what exactly that entails a bit later on.
So what do the points mean?
Well, as the season goes on, we will tally up how many times one of us convinces the questioner to side with their side of the story, and the winner gets to choose the bonus round for next season.
Oh, there's stakes.
There are stakes now.
Dan's practicing delivering his lines with passion.
Oh,
But he
I didn't
realise
realise there was a prize.
Didn't realise there was stakes.
And I'm a vegetarian.
Oh. Drop the mic.
Oh.
Now, I will say that some questions pose an obvious for or against argument, splitting a decision down the middle. In this case, the questioner will flip a coin to determine who has which side, and this cannot be changed.
That's where things are going to get interesting.
Right? Because you're going to want one of those answers.
Oh, yeah, like, there's so many times you're going to be like, was the moon landing fake? And you're going to be like, well, I know the moon landing was fake. But you've still got to prove, you've then got to argue that NASA did really land on the moon. Which is impossible because the Earth's flat.
Oh, okay. We've learned things about you in the last 10 seconds, James.
All of which were a lie. Ha, I win.
Damn, you got me. Point to James.
Ding, ding.
Other questions leave it more open for discussion and can have the answerers be very creative with their side of the arguments. Answerers can also pose questions and scenarios to the questioner, who will act a bit like a Dungeons & Dragons dungeon master, as they will make decisions on what can fly and what can't on the spot.
NASA can't. Fight me, NASA. Fly me there so that I can see it all cheap.
So rounds last around 15 minutes, and each answerer gets an opening statement, but from there, answerers could even pose questions, facts, and accusations towards each other to try and trip their opponent up. It really is a test of quick thinking, creative storytelling, and rock-solid composure.
Considering this was a concept that we made up in the car, where we were just kind of screaming at each other with excitement, you've done a really good job in making this sound professional and well thought out.
Thanks, man. So that's the game. Basically, we have to convince whoever the questioner is to side with our side of the story to win a point. Those points add up at the end of the season, so that winner of those points gets to choose the bonus round for next season.
It's going to be me. Debate. Kirk, your fault.
So before we get on with the show, let's just quickly introduce ourselves. My name is Kirk, and with me I have James and Dan, and we all know each other from playing for the same recreational sports team.
Hi, I'm James. Some people compare me to logistical equipment. Because they call me the freight train.
Oh, we're going to follow that.
Well, you could say, hi, I'm Dan. The boys call me Smokey D because my tortoise set itself on fire.
Okay. Hello, I'm Dan. My boys call me Smokey D because my I can't do it. I can't say that. My tortoise has decided to have a hot box.
And set your house on fire.
My house on fire. So I'm now Smokey D.
So this podcast came around because James and I, we run a podcast called Poppers and Pylons where we talk about our recreational sport, which is a flag football, and we thought, well, why not? We like having fun, we like making jokes, so let's make a podcast out of it.
And we thought, who better to bring into the fold than our very own Smokey D,
Smokey D,
whose animals like to set themselves on fire.
Yeah.
I don't think I've actually heard this story. Well, now I get why he didn't like Smokey D as a nickname.
I never didn't like it.
Oh, okay.
I just it got hyped up before I knew it, and then I got told it, and it was underwhelming. But now I've accepted it as actually I quite like it.
That's my style. Hyped up, but underwhelming.
Let's hope not for this game show, James.
Ask Celeste.
Disclaimer: Celeste is James's fiance.
12 years.
You'll get to know us.
Hyped up that wedding. 12 years.
Is this going to be a situation of hyped up and extremely disappointing?
Yeah. So, question 1: should I marry Celeste?
Flip the coin.
Flip the coin.
So, question 1, and it's me in the question position to start with, and I'm going to start with a closed question, boys. A closed question. The question is: would you rather be forced to live the same day over and over again for 3 years, or live every day differently but lose 3 years of your life?
Ooh.
Have a quick think about it. And then I'm going to flip the coin.
Oh, Christ.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. So, James, do you want to call heads or tails?
I'm going to go with heads, baby.
Okay. So, if it's a heads, James will be arguing for the same day over and over again. Here we go. It is a heads.
Bitch, I've been groundhogged.
Right. So what's mine? What am I arguing?
You're basically arguing that you get to live every day differently, but you lose 3 years of your life.
3 years?
Yeah. Although you might want to think of it more as, why is what James arguing for the worst idea ever?
So,
I mean, compared to, I think I've hit the jackpot on this one.
Mine's
way better than yours.
With Dan's one, your life is normal, but you die at 77 instead of 80.
But here's the thing, right? And I'll say to the audience as well, is we said earlier how people can ask questions to the questioner. They're a bit like a dungeon master, and I'm going to make sort of rules on the spot. So to that question there, basically, we don't know when Dan's going to die, right? He could die in 5 years' time, but he could have the best 2 years of his life right now.
Yeah, so it's like my destiny is to die, like he says, my destiny is to die at 80.
Okay.
But actually, I've lost 3 years, so I die at 77.
Yes.
That's kind of what it is.
Okay, cool.
I'm just trying to clarify what lost 3 years means.
Okay,
Did it mean that, or did it
mean...
he gets to live the rest of his life?
It means you know that you've lost 3 years of your life when it was going to end.
Or am I just 3 years older now?
Yeah.
No, life carries on.
I'm suddenly 28.
Okay, James, let's start with you. Let's hear your opening statement kind of thing of why you think being forced to live the same day over and over again for 3 years is great.
Well, it's great because, A, they made a fucking film about it. Have you seen Groundhog Day?
For 3 years, though.
Yeah, but that's irrelevant, right? Let me tell you, as somebody who suffers from anxiety, right, somebody who's literally medicated for that shit, yeah, knowing what is going to happen over and over and over again is fucking incredible, especially if it was a good day, right? Like, I'm not saying, like, I'm going to assume, or can I assume, it's a kind of middle of the road day. It's not going to be like the best day of my life, but it's not going to be like the day my parents got divorced.
But I guess that's what's beautiful about it is okay, yeah, sure, okay, yeah, it's
like-
not
like-
a dark day, and it's not a day
average.
you've gone to Alton's
so
house, right?
it's like the kind of day where I've woken up, I've gone to work, or I've woken up, I've had breakfast, I've gone to work, I've had an okay day with a couple of meetings and whatever. I've come home, I've had some dinner, I've played some PlayStation, I've shagged the missus, I've gone to bed.
Right.
That's my day, yeah?
Sure.
Fucking sweet. That's what I want out of life, right? Don't get me wrong, there'd be boring bits, but like, that's where you kind of just have to embrace it, and you could be like, you could start fucking with people, right? You could be like, hey, Gary, I bet in 30 seconds exactly the phone's going to ring.
Yeah.
And then Gary will be like, what? And you'll be like, bet you 20 quid right now. And he'll be like, okay, 20 quid on the table. And then boom.
That 20 quid for a day, because you restart the day and you lose that 20 quid,
Yeah,
don't
but
you?
the thrill of gambling never goes away.
Oh. So
You could do-
you could get a gambling addiction.
You could do, so, but then you could also never die because the day repeats itself, right? So in theory, I could jump off a fucking building at the end of the day and wake up in my bed the next morning absolutely fine.
Mhm.
Isn't that cheating though? Because you'd no longer be living the same day.
Interesting.
are we-
Interesting. Now, I
You
have
have to do
written
the
down.
same thing over and over. Is that not the point?
But that's not Groundhog Day.
Yeah, but
Ross.
this isn't Groundhog Day.
No,
this
no.
is would a panther kill a
So-
raccoon in the wild?
So the way I read this question was, let's say it was February the 26th, 2021, or whatever it is. It's that
'cause
day.
that's mid-lockdown.
Okay, sure, fine.
But, yeah,
February 26th, 2022.
September 11th, 2001.
Oh, damn. A very normal day, whatever year, whatever day, pick one. It's that day. Now, I read this question as, it'd be interesting, wouldn't it, if let's say you did a heinous crime, went to jail, but woke up in jail, but it's the same day. That'd be interesting. But I think as a rule, I'm going to say you start in the same place every day.
So it's not that I have to get up, go to work, have a wank in the toilet, go home. go
No,
to
you
sleep.
just woken up on that day.
Yeah,
And
so
you
it's
know
like-
what's going to happen on
so
that day.
It's like, you know,
So everyone else around you does the exact same thing, but you
Yes.
have control of
They're
what
on a
you
loop.
do. Okay, I see.
but I guess they're only on a loop as far as your influence on them. Because if you run your nan over,
Sure.
she's
Could
not
be-
going to carry on walking to Tesco's, is she?
No. So there is chaos.
But
theory.
she'll walk
Yeah.
to Tesco's the next day.
Yeah, she'll walk to Tesco's the next
Yeah.
day.
Okay.
And you can run her over again.
So it's for 3 years, right?
Yes.
So at the end of these 3 years, what are the repercussions of it? Are you sent to a pocket dimension where your 3 years go by and then you come back to exactly where you were? Or do your 3 years pass and 3 years pass for everyone else? That when you're no longer in this loop, you've also
Someone's
lost.
just there like, why did you run over Nan 5,672 times?
They would have lived out that day,
Right.
and then they would have lived out the rest of the 3 years as if that day hadn't happened. Like it just happened once.
Yeah.
And you would carry on living that day. But at the end of the 3 years, what happens? Like, do you come back to a world that's completely changed because it's 3 years later?
I see what you're saying.
Or have you lived out those 3 years in the matter of an hour for everyone else?
I think what's part of the torture here, or the positive, if you want to take it that way, is the last day of the third year carries on.
It carries on.
It carries on.
So you jump off the building the last
A little
day.
too late.
Yeah, that's it. You're done.
Yeah,
But if you jumped off the day before, you're fine.
yeah.
So, in terms of everyone else, then they also live the same day, but they don't know it,
Yes,
and
They
then
don't know
time
it.
goes back to
they
normal.
only recollect the last one.
Okay, so it's as if I get you now. So it is like a little pocket dimension.
Yes.
So what we're saying is that
So
Dan,
for everyone else, it's a day, but for you, it's 3 years.
Mhm.
so what Dan is now realizing is that I have the better option to argue for because I basically get 3 years of living with no consequences.
Do you age though? Would you age the 3 years?
No, because you're
or
on the
not?
same. You're on a time loop. How could you?
No, you wouldn't.
No,
age.
you wouldn't. Would
See,
you?
look, there you go. So you've just lost 3 years in life. You've basically been a moderate smoker, and I've got to
Well,
live with no consequences.
See, here's the thing. I'm going to counter that because I plan to die at 50 anyway. So what's what's 47?
3 years less.
Yeah, like what?
That could be the difference between you winning the lottery and not wanting to die at 50.
Well, once I'm at 50, there's no point, is there?
Why?
Don't know. Just, that's what I always thought. I thought, well, I'll be out of my prime.
Amazon Prime.
I think I could lose 3 years easily and not be phased by it because I wouldn't know.
And how would you convince James?
I'd have so
Because what we're
my
saying.
argument is blissful ignorance. I can be like, well, I'm not going to have those 3 years. I might have not had them anyway.
Uh-huh.
Who knows?
Sure.
You just don't know. It's
That's the
complete
point. You don't
blissful
know.
ignorance. Whereas it'd probably be fun, but also I'd probably go mad.
Think about.
I think a week would be all right, but 3 years.
I was thinking the same thing. Similarly, in terms of when I was looking at this question, I was thinking on both sides. I was thinking, a month, sure.
3 months.
3 years?
3 months max. 3 years.
But I'm keen to hear your thoughts, James. Keen to hear.
Well, in the end of the
Would you not
day,
get bored.
you're never going to be homeless. You're never going to be like completely broke. You're never going to you want to be like, oh, I'm going to rob a Porsche. I'm going to rob a Porsche. What's going to happen? I get to drive a Porsche for an hour. I get shot by a policeman for robbing a Porsche, whatever. Wake up the next day.
Okay. 365 days for 1 year. How many Porsches are you going to rob?
Well, we're talking about 3 years, so
Yeah, but I'm
Right.
narrowing it down to I can't be asked to do the math. to be honest.
maths.
Math. Not a
Maths.
mathematician.
I mean, I'm not going to rob a Porsche every day. One day I might be like, fuck it, I'm going to Alton Towers. The next day I might be like, fuck it, I'm going to attempt to learn how to fly a plane.
That's a point as well, to be fair. People are still working, right? So it's
Yeah.
not like you go into an empty Alton.
Yeah.
But do you have to pay to go to Alton Towers? And do you get your money back?
Well, yeah, because you live in the same day.
Oh, you do,
Yeah,
don't you?
yeah.
Yeah.
That is getting
The same as if you were to go to a casino and count the cards because you know exactly what's going to come up.
Yeah.
You'd win $1 million, but you'd also lose it as soon as midnight hits.
Unless it was the last
Unless
day.
it was the last
That's
day.
what I'm going to ask James next: is what would you do on the last day?
I mean, you'd have to do something like that, right? You'd have to know, like, the lottery numbers are going to come up, or, like, the casino, or what. Like, you wouldn't do anything.
But would you overthink it? Would you think for 3 years, what's the best way to make as much money as possible in that last 24 hours? Would you overdo it
You
and end up in jail
like I
somewhere?
did
Yeah.
with my name.
Yeah. Like, you go, like, you're sitting there at the blackjack table, and you're sitting on a 17, and you're like, you should always stand on a hard 17, but my name's Smokey D. And then the fucking woman gives you an extra card, and you're out.
completely bottle it.
I'll be honest, James has got all the passion here. Dan, I'm going to give you one last chance to try and
Dan's basically like,
argue
might need to pay for a funeral sooner than I reckon. And I'm sitting there telling you, you can live this. You could be like, guess what? I'm going to try fucking heroin. Like, how many people do you know that have been able to try anything
with no repercussions.
with no repercussions, no crippling
Good point.
addiction, no, like, what's that? You want to skateboard off the Empire State Building? Fucking do it, kid.
Would you feel the pain?
Of course you'd
Of course
feel
you
the pain.
but it's not like if you broke your leg, I guess you'd wake up the next day without a broken leg.
Would it be worth it?
If it was insta-kill, there wouldn't be any pain anyway.
I'm just going to switch sides here.
You can't switch sides.
Okay, so I gave James some loaded questions, I'll say. I'll give you one as well. For instance, in James's world, there's no new TV shows. There's no new music.
See, that's what I mean. I'd probably go mad, like you say, after 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I'd
You've
probably
watched
have-
the whole of Stranger Things.
I'd
You've
have-
watched everything.
I don't watch Strange Things. And maybe I'll get into it.
Yeah.
I've never,
You wouldn't have a choice.
I haven't,
Yeah,
like legit, I haven't watched past episode 4 of Game of Thrones.
Come week-
I could fill 3 years just watching episodes of Game of Thrones.
Come week 50 of year 3. Oh, what do I do now? Can't jump the Empire State Building again.
Run a marathon down the M6.
The thing is,
Get jacked. Try gay sex.
one more question. Do you, it resets at midnight?
Yeah.
So as soon as it hits midnight, you teleport to your bed asleep.
Oh, actually, that's interesting. Oh, yeah. Well, if we're going by the same 24 hours, we could cut it at midnight, or should we let's cut it at 5 a.m.
Oh, that's a
5 a.m.
shitter.
5 a.m. So you could party all night, but 5 a.m. hits, you've woken up.
Yeah, but what
in
if
your
I
bed.
wanted to get an early start on the day?
Set an alarm for
You can
10
sleep
10
through
past.
it. There's no problem. You can sleep through those hours. It's just at 5 a.m. you'll wake
Will
up.
I wake up
Back on February 22nd.
Yeah, but on February 22nd at 5:01 a.m., will I wake up like I've had 8 hours of sleep, regardless of what I've done the day before?
Make sure
That's a good point.
Because that could help the days go a lot quicker if I'm like...
You can just sleep through them.
Or, actually, no, I think what would probably be more accurate is you'd be cursed for whatever you did the day before. If you went to bed early the day before, then you're blessed every day with a nice 8-hour sleep.
Oh, yeah, but you don't keep your injuries.
No, because we're starting the day again.
Yeah,
we're
but
going back to what February 21st was happening.
Yeah, but if
I know, so you mean
the day before
Yes.
you start.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So if you go to bed hungover on that day,
Yeah, you wake up with hangover every day.
If you get to pick the day, then it's fine. But if you don't get to pick, if it's just suddenly thrust upon you,
No, it's a thrust upon. It has to be. It can't be.
So you got
that'd be too much of a monopoly, right?
Would you risk it? Imagine if you got food poisoning. Imagine just unlucky
You
day.
knew it was coming this year
You just have
sometime.
Food poisoning.
That's
every day
another
for 3
question there.
years.
Let's add in a bonus question here, which is, if you did know that, would you live every day that and you knew sometime in 2023 that was going to happen? Would you live every day to the fullest, or would you accept a shit Sunday somewhere?
I'd definitely be pooing off a building.
Wait, as in
If I'm going to be miserable, everyone's going to be miserable around me.
no, but like,
As in, would you go to bed early every day, knowing that could be this could be the day?
yeah, because
I misunderstood the question. I thought if I knew I had food poisoning, what would I do?
That's not what I asked. It wasn't even close.
no, like it would suck, wouldn't it? Like, this is the day I got COVID.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah. True. Well, I'm going to give this round to James purely because I had so many good arguments for, and it was really
Passion.
good. I was kind of upset, Dan, you didn't bring up something like, "Oh, are your friends your friends?" or something like that. You know, you spent 3 years fucking with them, and then you get to the end of the 3
definitely.
years,
You
and you
can't-
know more about them than anything.
Why would
now.
I bring that up? They're still my friends. Of course.
True. I guess
It wouldn't be if you didn't
Yeah,
mess
but
with them.
you know how big their dicks are.
things like this, right? So, James, first point of would a panther kill a raccoon in the wild goes to you.
Yeah.
Choo choo. I'm going to pass the coin over to Dan for round 2.
Yeah, I think I lost that as soon as
As soon as the coin toss.
as soon as we brought up some of the good things about it, and I went, well, there's nothing really good about losing 3 years. I have to make something up.
You don't need the coin if it's an open question, do you?
Or does it have to be an open question?
More of a token thing, isn't it? Just chuck the coin along. That's what's happening. By the way, if there are any
Alright.
coin makers out there that fancy giving us a nice, like, individual kind of very specialist coin, that'd be great. Panther on one side, Raccoon on the other.
Are you saying that a 1992 10-pence piece is not special?
I love it. I think it's fantastic. I'd like a one with the Panther on it, though. And a raccoon.
Once we get the Panther one, we'll frame this one.
Okay, as like
Memorabilia. And we'll all
it'd
sign
be
it.
me first dollar.
We'll all sign the frame.
Sell it to charity.
Mm.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I need this because it's how I'm going to determine the winner. You're just going to argue about stuff, and then I'm going to be like, right, who wins? My question is, if I have to do my open-ended one, which I feel I'd rather have done the other one, but whatever.
Well, if you want
Next
to
episode.
Next,
Yeah,
I've got it for the
Do it
next.
first
I've got
next
it for next time. I've got it for next time. So I liked this one when I looked at our list. What is the worst insult? Go quick, claim your one, or someone else does. And once you've said one, that's it. You can't change it.
That's it.
So think quick, because if someone takes your one, you're not going to be happy, are you?
And there's obvious ones.
Oh yeah, there's like really obvious ones,
Right.
and then like you want. I'm trying to think of those like really classic insults. Like the almost like the Great British insults.
Uh-huh.
Like it has to be something like that. Like
I'll go straight in with cock. That's it.
I mean that's
it.
simple. That's understated. I see the relevance of it.
Yep.
But
I think it depends where you're from as well. That's
Mm.
going to play a part in that.
I keep drawing a blank.
Oh, you're taking it in, mate.
The only one I can think of is twat waffle.
Oh, well, that's
what
it.
he said it now.
He said
that's
it. He said it. That's his. So,
But you have to say it with an American accent. Twat waffle.
oh,
Twat waffle.
Twat waffle. It can't be twat waffle. It's be twat waffle.
So his word is
Sick.
twat waffle.
So as James, you clearly need time to think. Kirk, why is cock the worst?
Because you can hide it anywhere.
That makes it good.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
I mean, you can hide a cock.
you can hide the word anywhere. Or?
Exactly.
Yeah, because there's some places you shouldn't hide a cock. 'cause
No.
you go to
We're
prison.
on about semantics here. Yes. For instance, you could. Okay, let's say you're in a family-friendly place.
Yeah.
Okay, and you stub your toe. Your favorite word is cock. You can't say it. You're going to go cockerel instead. Le coq sportif. There's so many things.
Le coq
There's so many things you can sneak cock into. A cockroach. There's so many things, right? That you can hide it away. It's also, it's nice and short. And if we go into linguistic semantics, which I looked a little bit into, just that C sound. I'll take it. Hey, this helps win the game, man. You got this C sound.
I'm the one
Such an aggressive sound, right? And okay, fuck would be an obvious one. Okay, fuck would be an obvious one. Maybe we should have gone for that one.
Yeah, fuck has a nice
Exactly, but it's got the at the end. But cock has two of those. Cock. And it's short, it's aggressive, and it's so British, and it's so James May, who I love.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And you're always reminded of James May whenever you say it.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of points here.
It's like that and bosses.
Okay, I think you've misunderstood the question.
Right.
Why is it the worst insult?
Oh, the worst. Oh, I've gone with the best.
Yeah,
no.
Like you've just gone as a word.
You've gone for why it works so well.
I perceive the question as the worst insult as in like the worst word you can say to someone.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah, so
why would
but you've just talked about all the pros.
You've just talked
exactly
about
the pros
it.
about
it's so easy to hide. I feel like we're
I'm sorry, right?
Three different questions.
If I go out the gate, and I'm like, someone's like,
it'd be you calling someone a cock.
Yeah,
why is that worse?
Someone's cut me up in Tesco's.
Oh, see, I've gone the other way. I've gone like, why would others perceive it in a different way, rather than the person I'm calling? Oh,
no,
okay.
Like
I need to rethink here, but I'm gonna stay with the word.
I kind of get what you're thinking, but
Karen,
flip it.
Some absolute Karen, right, starts giving it the big un in Tesco's. No, not even Tesco's, right? I'm in fucking Waitrose.
Whoa.
I'm in Waitrose right now, and some absolute Karen, complete and utter twat waffle of a Karen, right, starts going, me, I'm going to go to the manager, me. And her kids are fucking screaming, and she's parked in a disabled bay, even though she's going, well, I've got carpal tunnel. You like carpal tunnel's not a disability, Karen. Calm the fuck down. And she's trying to buy a kid a copy of Grand Theft Auto 5, even though he's 7. And you're just like, oh. And you just turn around and you go, shut the fuck up, you twat waffle.
See, I'd argue he said like 2 or 3 other swear words in there that like would affect that.
But no, because the insult.
It's the insult is so there's a command in there,
which is shut the fuck up.
And then what is it, just a noun?
Okay, fine.
The insult is
so you could call someone a cock, but have some describing words in there.
Oh, okay.
That would make it an insult. But if you said, "Do this, you cock,"
okay,
then it wouldn't be part of the insult.
Interesting.
Think. I make the rules now, so
I like it. This is why I like it.
That's
on your toes.
You can have a command, but not an adjective.
Right.
Even apart from obviously your word is
go suck yourself, you filthy twat waffle.
You can't add filthy in. That's part of the insult.
Go lick your nan's filthy toes, twat waffle.
There you go.
Kids will learn on this show, man.
So
go suck a spunk monkey's cum dumpster, you twat waffle.
Yeah.
There's so many things.
So now you can adapt yours.
Okay, cool. I'm going to take your Karen there. She's with her kids. she's in Waitrose, right? Now I'm going to guess this Karen hasn't only been a Karen to everyone around her in terms of the workers in Waitrose, but she's also been on these feminist kind of pages, right? And she's been following this kind of stuff up.
I feel like Kurt's getting too political for episode.
Right. So what better to call her than male genitalia? Right in her face, both figuratively and literally. Why not? Cock.
I think calling someone male genitalia is better than calling someone a cock.
But again, we go back to our aggressiveness, though, of why it's so aggressive in her face.
Yeah,
we're putting semantics in her face and aggressiveness in her face with the sound of it.
It's like a short, sharp shock. It's like,
exactly.
It's like the U.S. Marines of insults.
I mean, I think James is helping me out here. Yeah, I'm taking,
but
as my opponent.
Well, that's because I just know that I have the superior twat waffle.
It's too many syllables, though.
I mean, yeah, it's a mouthful, and I will admit, if you don't say it like an American, you say twat waffle.
Yeah,
it doesn't have the same ring to it.
And you just said you're in Waitrose, man. Like, who's going to listen to an American accent in Waitrose?
True.
How much is the word cock used in America? Is it like quite a I don't see it as quite an American.
In Brooklyn, it's cocksucker, right? Like that's what they'll say. But
I suppose.
Blink 182 have used it in songs, which I take as meaning it's in the common language.
Yeah,
I'm taking that like globally into account.
global.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like if
man.
you go to France to call someone a cock, they'll think you're just calling them a chicken.
Which works.
Yeah, but if you call them a twat waffle,
They just won't understand you.
le waffle du twat. No,
Well, okay.
I think I could piss off the whole of Belgium.
I'll allow the translation. If you want to go to France and call someone a cock, but the French word for cock.
Le chicken.
I don't know what that is.
I don't. Yeah.
But I see what you mean. So we have automatic translators.
Automatic translation.
What you mean is I have to get Google Translate to tell me what twat waffle is in Mandarin
Yeah.
to go to China and be like, you're a twat waffle.
I mean, although that point there has put a flaw in my system, which is the fact that I'm sure in certain countries where they are far more well endowed, calling someone a cock is probably like, thanks.
I disagree. Far more
No?
well endowed probably doesn't mean anything. In ancient Greece, men were celebrated for small penises.
Yeah,
That's why all the statues
I
have
think
little
you're
dinglings.
right. I think you're right there. I think if you call someone a penis, they're not going to take it. Unless you're like mates, then I don't think they're going to take it well, even if they have got a large one.
I just think that I will stand by that the Americanism of twat waffle is a key aspect of it.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I think I still stand by. I'm still trying to think of the word. I'm still trying to think of
What language is that?
I'm trying to think of the word that I was trying to think of before I panicked and said twat waffle. Thundercunt? No, that's not it.
Well, I'm going to jump in here with Dan has showed me the translation for cock.
Would you like to know the French for a twat waffle?
Right.
Yeah.
And everything I've said about the word in terms of its linguistic elements,
From which language?
this is French,
Right, okay. that's
counts
I'll show you as well.
because it's cock,
fine. Yeah, but yeah, so it's chicken.
which is just, but still, although as the same in English, a cock is a male chicken, right?
Yeah, true.
So, but it's still aggressive. The KK.
Yeah, yours gets less aggressive in French. It's gaufre de chat.
What was that?
What that
Gaufre de
thing?
chat. Isn't chat cat?
Not spelt like that.
No, pussy waffle.
You translate it back.
If you translate it back, it's pussy
I
waffle.
suppose, yeah, because
Gaufre de
is-
chat.
it's gaufre de chat.
Which sounds even better. Pussy waffle.
How am I losing to pussy waffle?
Pussy waffle. Yes. That is it. I'm currently trying to Google classic British insults to try and find the one that I actually wanted.
That will be completely
Cockwomble. It was cockwomble. That's what I was fucking. God.
He said part of that.
Yeah, he said cock,
I did.
but he didn't mention the womble bit.
Going back to my James May thing, though.
He's helping you out here by saying
I am.
he's got one better than his that also contains yours.
I'll take it. Going
Yeah,
back to my James
but
May
that's-
thing,
I couldn't call him a twat waffle womble.
is if I twist your question slightly, what's the worst insult you can give? If I add to that question, what's the worst insult you can give on the BBC? It's cock.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So you're saying it's the worst insult because it's BBC ready.
Yes, sure.
Oh.
Whereas if I come out
Well, then
on
that means
on Top
that-
Gear and say this car's a pile of twat waffle.
Yeah, can you say that on the BBC?
Sorry.
We're in England. We're in England, though. It's twat waffle, like you say.
Twat waffle. Yeah, I think the twat would get beat.
I think
but
so.
The waffle wouldn't. And then people would be like, "What kind of waffle?"
But doesn't that make his worst?
yeah,
because
it
Yours
gets beat.
yours is
Damn.
allowed on TV, his isn't.
Damn.
But I think that's the swear word. I think the way I interpret the question is, what would you least want to be called?
Oh, I see.
Like, what are you most offended by?
I kind of wish you asked that.
Well, I am now.
There you are now.
Well, that's an easy one.
I'll
Boris
take
Johnson.
Yeah.
Political.
You could also interpret it as like, what's the worst insult? If you insult someone, but it's a terrible insult, like, oh, you're a box. That's pretty bad. Or you're just horrendously gorgeous.
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries.
Well, that's the best insult ever. So you can't use that as the worst.
Oh, man.
Which has to be said with a slight French accent, done as a parody.
Just like...
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries.
We're going for gaufre du chat.
Gaufre du chat. Pussy waffle.
I can't believe how well that translated back.
See, and that's the important thing with all of these things. Now what you need to do is change that to Mandarin and do a couple of times through.
Oh, God.
And watch it come back as like, pancake of the furry feline.
See, as this is round one, game one, well, round two, now we know. Now we know
that James is on fucking form as he's about to get 2 points.
No. Now we know that we have to really carefully listen to this question, and because I went straight in with what I thought the question meant, I didn't even think about what it meant to someone else.
To be fair, we made mistakes here, Kurt, because neither of us asked any more information before we just went.
This is true.
Cockwomble, which neither of us said.
Okay.
Yeah, you really missed your.
I did.
Your chance there.
I missed that target.
Ah, there we go. Japanese changes it to waffle on the pubic area.
I mean, I'd argue he has the most hilarious insult.
Yeah,
but you'd also still it'd catch you off guard, right? Let's say you're
no waffle.
Let's say you're driving down the motorway down the M1. Wait, no, you're driving on the North Circular.
Right.
I don't know London well enough to know if the North Circular is one of those ones where you could wide your window down and swear at someone. But you're driving on the North Circular and you accidentally change lanes and forget to indicate, and some twat waffle in a Volkswagen Passat waffle, a Volkswaffle per twat, fucking winds his window down, pulls up alongside you, sticks his fingers up and go, "What the fuck are you doing, you fucking twat waffle?" That'd catch you more off guard than someone going, "Cock."
But if we're on that North Circular and there's all these engines and they're in a Passat, it's going to be a diesel, right? That engine is loud, man. That is chugging along there. Twat waffle. You're going to question if you actually heard what you heard. Whereas cock, you're going to know exactly what someone said.
Would you argue that a more commonly used insult is worse?
I think the more often it's used, the less sting in its tail. Like, when it's at the point where Boris Johnson says it on the news, like, it's just a bit of a bell end, you're like, okay, right, the Prime Minister says bell end.
Okay.
Sorry, the former Prime Minister says bell end. But then you're like, if you have one that completely catches you off guard, the best one's got to be nonce, right?
10 minutes later. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that wins.
Keyword there was best.
Best, right.
Yeah, no, but like nonce, no one likes being called a nonce.
To be fair.
It gets dropped left and right. Like you can throw a casual nonce out and people will be offended, but at the same time your mates will find it kind of funny. Like if you go, "Oh, fucking hell, you're such a nonce," they'll be like, "Huh." But if you're like a middle-aged balding bloke walks past you and you're like, "Oh, maybe he genuinely is," but like he bumps into you, go, "Fuck off, you nonce," he'll be like, "Oh my god." Oh. Also, nonce is one that I feel like you can't throw at women. I don't know why.
Oh, I've done that.
But I just feel like it doesn't hit home as hard.
No, that's true. But everything you just said, I might point out, James, completely pointless because you've already gone with twat waffle.
Yeah.
And I'm going to argue your point because although I do agree that, yes, in the English language, swear words have been diluted, also, the more things are said, the more semantics might mean to someone else. So they may have been called a cock by someone they really hate. And whenever I call them that again, they're going back to that dark place. So with yours, they got nothing to latch on to.
Please don't call me a cock. Tell me you love me.
They got nothing to latch on for to twat waffle. It's completely new, which could work in your favour. But I'm thinking with a word they've probably heard before, they could link that to some horrid memory that I could then get them with.
I'm just saying, twat waffle you could put on a t-shirt.
Cock is on a t-shirt.
Yeah. Le coq sportif. French.
Yeah, but is it waffle on the pubic area?
They win World Cups, man.
Yeah.
That's all I got, Dan, to be fair.
I like your arguments. I think we can wrap it up there. We can move on.
But who's the
winner?
Oh, that's it. Done. So everything you both just said is completely irrelevant. I now want you to insult me with your words.
Right.
If the one I'm more offended by, I'll give the point to.
Can you lay us a scene, Dan? Can you give us a scenario? Paint me a picture with your words.
I have just become a raccoon.
An animal?
Yeah, I've just become a raccoon. The actual animal. I can still talk and understand
the
English language. And I did it because I took some stupid bet that I lost.
So are you physically a raccoon, or are you just a human being that has to act like a raccoon for a bet? Are you running around naked with a little burglar mask on, eating rubbish?
I did a deal with some weird sorcerer voodoo man, and I am actually a raccoon. But I can still talk and understand you.
I'd be more intrigued to know what it's like to have a tail.
And I've showed up to football as a raccoon as if nothing's happened. I've just put my gloves on, my boots.
Have they shrunk down with you?
Yeah.
Oh, so cute.
And I've put my tags on and I'm ready to go.
Okay.
And you've come up to me and gone, "Oh, damn, what have you done?" I've gone, "What do you mean? Nothing's wrong."
So what actually that scenario would be is Lauren would get out of the car and you would get out.
I would be in a cat carrier.
You'd be
driving though, right?
Be in the passenger seat because your car surely your car wouldn't shrink to the point where you could operate the controls as a raccoon.
I feel like we've gone off on a bit of a tangent here.
And everyone's going to be like, "Lauren, why the fuck have you got a raccoon?" And she's going to be like, "Fucking Dan made a stupid cunty ass bet."
And and then you go, "Oh, for doing that, Dan, you are."
No, I wouldn't.
Insult.
It would have to be I'd be like, "Dan, you're such a twat waffle."
Okay, so there's your scenario.
No, I'd be like, "Dan, catch this ball," and I'd throw it purposely a foot over your head. And then when you couldn't jump that high, I'd be like, "See, Dan, you're worthless now without that fucking... Why did you do this? You're such an idiot. Oh my God. What an absolute fucking filthy waffle on the pubic area."
Okay.
My return.
Your return. That was tennis.
Why is Venus Williams in the room?
Why is she having a stroke?
Is it only me saying the word?
What is everyone else is totally chill?
Well, you're getting everyone else involved.
Can I just get an assembly of
just a chant in the middle?
Yes. You can't get your choir there to be like,
damn.
"Oh, cock."
If only. Well, I think I'd like to use it as a double entendre, and I'd like to say it very aggressively and go, "Where's your cock?" Now.
But what if he got his rack?
You're not calling me when you said, "Where is it?"
What if he got his rack-cock out?
Oh, this is true.
And it was bigger than yours.
Then I go, "Ha! Cock!" I don't have much. Literally, I would just go up to you and go, "You cock." That's about it. And I'd use the aggressiveness of the word.
It's one of those as well. It's a casual thing, isn't it? It's like, yeah, it's like you can let cock slide under the radar and let it sting. Like, it's almost like, you know that meme? Oh, which meme is it? It's either Timmy Turner's dad from Fairly Odd Parents, or maybe Principal Skinner from Simpsons, and he's like, pathetic. Yeah, it's like that's the kind of level that cock.
So,
which are you more offended by?
I think...
Principal Skinner.
Uh-huh.
I think I'd actually be more offended. None of those situations, because that went downhill very quickly.
We held on to it.
It shouldn't have gone on for as long as it did. I think without all your arguments, I would be more offended by being called a cock.
What?
What? Just because I'd laugh at twat waffle, but if it was in malice, and you were angry at me and you called me a cock, I'd know you'd mean it. But if you called me a twat waffle, I'd be like, "What are you playing at?"
He's gone for the save option and he's lost.
I haven't given a point yet.
Oh no!
Because while you were debating what you were going to call me while I was a raccoon, I flipped the coin and it was heads, and I chose James for heads.
Rigged.
You saw me do it. Just sat there. I was like,
We're just playing with the coin.
We'll give Kurt the point. We'll keep it interesting.
Kurt can have the point.
Yay.
I don't want to blow it.
I mean, it feels a bit shallow now, this point. I'm just
I don't want
saying
to have a
that.
blowout season 1.
I make the rules. I bend the rules.
So at the end of that round, we've agreed that cock is the more aggressive word.
No,
than
we
twat
have
waffle.
definitively
The
decided
worst insult.
the worst thing somebody can call you as an insult is cock.
Yeah, and if anyone ever tells you otherwise, they are a cop.
They are a twat waffle.
Cue music.
Right. So here it is, boys. We've made it through the first 2 questions. Ready for our season-long question. Round 3. Fight. And in pre-production, I was granted the honour of being the first person to questionnaire, to wizard, to ask Tronaut the very first round 3 fight, in which we pick a universe, and it is up to you, the 2 question and answerers, to pick the first character that they can, similar to our other open format questions.
How long do we get?
I'm going to give you 15 seconds.
Ooh.
Oh, it better be a universe I know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're in trouble.
I will stop the 15 seconds if you ask a question,
Okay.
so that there's time to answer questions.
So we can ask a question every second and get...
Yeah, you can.
Well, then we won't be thinking about it.
Yeah.
We'll just be asking questions over and
You
over.
can do, but it's not the chase.
Okay.
Right. So, here it is, guys. Supermarket items mascots. Who would win in a fight?
Oh, Tony the Tiger.
Oh, he's picked.
Straight in. You got
Yeah.
straight in. That's what you're gone with.
Easy. He's a bloody tiger.
But there's so many people. It doesn't have to just be food. It doesn't
Here's the
just-
thing.
doesn't
I
just
don't
have
know
to-
that many.
I've got it.
I'm
I've got
still
it.
thinking of more, and
I've got
I
it. Yeah,
can't
okay.
think of any
I
that would
won't.
beat
I won't take Tony the
Tiger.
Tiger. Yeah, if you can find one that beats it, I'll take it. But I think I've got one that.
15
Oh, no,
seconds.
Tony is my one, because I literally can't think of... Or I can think of more, but not that would beat Tony.
Can the? This is a question out there. Can the mascot use the product it's advertising?
I mean,
I sure hope it can.
I've not thought of that as an element. I thought it was purely just what's
Okay.
on the box. But
I thought of a
I'm
better
going
one.
to give you that.
Cool,
Like,
cool.
Tony the Tiger can use Frosties
Yeah, right.
to disrupt whatever you've got.
I have thought of a better one, and I feel like an idiot now. Does Barry Scott count for Sillet Bang?
Oh,
I like
bang
it,
in
and
the
it's not.
dirt, he's gone.
It's not a million miles off my one.
Okay, go on then.
Mr. Muscle.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God, that was
would've-
it.
yeah.
That
Mr.
was
Muscle.
it. That's
If
what
I'd
I
have thought
thought.
of that before I shouted Tiger.
I got Mr. Muscle, and he's using Drain Unblocker. That shit is acid, man.
Yeah, Tony the Tiger's about to get blinded.
Aren't Frosties like acid anyway?
Tony the Tiger's about to get hopped up on E numbers
What are you going to do with
try
your little
and
neckerchief?
to try and 1v1 on Rust versus Mr. Muscle and Drano.
Isn't Mr. Muscle just a dude in a muscle suit? He hasn't got any powers.
He's a giant superhero, right? He wears like an orange
Does he fly,
leotard
though?
thing. I don't think so,
no, I
but
don't-
neither does Tony the Tiger.
I thought
He just-
maybe
his-
I'm getting confused. Is Mr. Muscle not the guy who just wears like a white t-shirt with the bald head?
No, Mr. Muscle's
No.
got like the orange. He's got like the M on
Oh,
him.
It's changed quite a bit over the
He
years.
wears
to be
sunglasses,
fair.
doesn't he?
Yes.
He's got a white cape.
Oh
I mean,
shit!
at one point in the adverts, he was this nerdy, skinny dude, but then over time, he's become this big,
He's gone to the gym.
like, looks like Shazam in orange.
He lifts
Oh.
1 litre bottles of bleach.
Yeah.
We can't be that strong.
1 liter of bleach is what in
Isn't that his power? He can lift any amount of bleach he wants, but
Yeah.
that's it. He can't lift anything else.
That's all they need, though, to take out a tiger, surely.
Hmm.
Take out with
Oh
bleach.
right, no. So Mr. Muscle is like, yeah, that was the old Mr.
Oh,
That's the old Mr. Muscle.
Yeah.
who
yeah.
looks like
Before he became
Yeah.
the
Looks
Mr.
like-
Muscle.
Where's Wally, but as the 40-year-old virgin.
Mhm.
And now Mr. Muscle is
He's got like a lab coat on.
yeah, he's got a lab coat on, but he's also looking dummy thick.
Uh-huh.
He's just a very strong scientist.
But that doesn't work on it. That doesn't work on a whole other level, does it? Because scientists are fucking nerds.
Hmm.
But we can. Isn't Tony Stark a scientist?
Tony Stark.
Tony Stark's irrelevant in this. Tony the Tiger.
Also,
He's not-
Tony Stark is Iron Man, and he would beat Mr. Muscle to a pulp.
Like, I'm
But
sorry,
that's
no,
not the point.
I'm
I have
saying
a
he's a
tiger.
scientist, and he like that. This great.
no, right.
Yeah, Tony Stark builds
Tony
suits.
Stark's a fucking engineer.
Mr. Muscle cleans drains.
Tony the Tiger hangs out with kids and says they're great.
Do you remember? Actually, Tony the Tiger, though, has a kill count, doesn't he?
Oh, no, we're not going there. Are we going there?
Doesn't Tony the Tiger have an official kill count?
Does he?
Oh, no, I think I've just lost.
Is there a little clutch in there? What has he got?
I mean, allegedly,
There was that.
yeah, the kid.
What was the
They're
song?
going to taste great.
Yeah,
They're going to taste great. The sound of frosty, the hitting your plate.
Didn't he
Why
kill
did he say
himself?
plate? Who puts Frosties on a plate? That's what I want to know. But anyway,
Didn't he kill himself because he got bullied at school?
I believe that is the, yeah. So
Did he drink Mr. Muscle?
To be fair, Tenebet Mr. Muscle has a bigger kill count.
Probably.
Yeah, actually, oh wow, we didn't even think about that. Thank you. I didn't even think about this. Yes. How many people have
I've choked on a
both
I feel like
accidentally
we're
and
getting down a
purposely?
dark alleyway.
It's really dark, but
Like, this is episode 1. Do we really want to get
we don't want to go there, no. Oh, dang.
But Mr. Muscle has tears as well, doesn't he? Like, because am I thinking of the right stuff? Like, Mr. Muscle, you've got like the white bottles with the orange and purple label.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got like the orange bottles.
Do you think they're like power ups? If he drinks a certain bottle, he gains a
Gets
certain
their powers. Like, he gets
dang.
extreme skid mark remover. Like where he fucking like does a fucking reverse roundhouse spinning kick on Tony the Tiger's face and turns him into a fucking blob on the floor. To be fair, with all them chemicals, he'd be able to clear up the evidence, wouldn't he? If
There
he,
is that.
like Mr. Muscle could come and like, piano wire Tony the Tiger while he sleeps and then just like dissolve his body, Breaking Bad
So
style.
my character is sleeping during this fight. We've gone into an arena and he's just gone, oh, it's bedtime. And
Like, and it tastes great.
I can't fight without breakfast, but I got to sleep first.
Everyone knows that breakfast is the first meal of the day.
Yeah, so we've got to quickly sleep. And then
And he's got a blue nose. He's always been punched by someone already.
Or maybe that's just because he's
It's
eating
from
so much pussy.
it's just cold from all the milk.
Milk. So where you're going with that? I mean, Mr. Muscle is bleach. Bleach is flammable, right?
Is it?
Is bleach flammable? I know you shouldn't drink
It's
it.
the purple one flammable and the orange one.
Oven cleaner's pretty brutal, isn't it?
It is. It
Like
is.
oven cleaner's
I'm gonna
like
Google this.
the kind of shit that you're not supposed to turn your oven on after you clean it.
But here's the thing. Have we determined that Mr. Muscle is actually super powered, or is he just a gym bro that's wearing a lab coat?
I mean, that is a good question. Canonically speaking,
He hasn't.
I mean, he looks like he's got a utility belt.
he runs. But does he actually show any signs of superpowers? Is he stronger than a tiger? Because I think Tony the Tiger gets a tiger's natural kind of abilities
Sure.
in the fact that he could probably jump 12 feet.
So could Mr. Muscle on his own take out Tony the Tiger?
Yeah, so I think
Can you believe it?
Tony the Tiger would be does he have superpowers or not?
Can you believe it that does Mr. Muscle have superpowers? Not give me an answer on Google.
Oh, I thought you had an answer.
I think we need to. I think we might need to write to. Who is it? Probably GlaxoSmithKline or
Or Johnson maybe.
Johnson
Or
and
Unilever.
Johnson. Yeah.
Because I don't think that he does. Does he fly?
Doesn't he have the power to degrease even the toughest pans?
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to remember the adverts, but I can't remember what he does if he just stands around.
It's SC Johnson.
Doesn't he just rock up into some woman's house and just woo her a little bit and then pour bleach down a drain? Isn't that all he does?
Yeah, but isn't that like the start to 95% of pornos
Yeah.
as well?
Or does he literally fly?
I mean,
through the
Tony
window?
the Tiger has like he's anthropomorphic tiger, isn't
Yeah, so
he? So he has
all
like the body of a tiger, but the brain of a human.
exactly. He's got all
Right.
the powers of a tiger.
Imagine if he was allergic to cats, though.
I'm pretty sure that's the thing. Animals can be allergic to other animals.
Yeah, but he is also a cat.
Yeah, but not the. Yeah.
I mean, most of the stills I'm looking at for Mr. Muscle adverts looks just like the guy from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Just
yeah.
like spraying stuff. So, but then
Is he like Shazam, where he starts off as a scrawny little,
kind of.
and he goes Mr.
But then he
Muscle,
becomes this.
and he goes bleach, and he just gets
No,
some
he's-
muscles.
Made
I mean-
with active enzymes and probiotics. Like, it's this
He's-
guy.
That's what I mean.
He's got clogs.
There's no evidence to him having superpowers or any abilities other than those who go to the gym a lot.
He's hench.
Like
isn't he?
he's a strong man. He's like Henry Cavill, but before he's CGI'd.
Dang.
So it's
He's got
like
safety
You're not
goggles
wrong.
on, though.
he's like
He can run while holding a bottle.
he's like regular Henry Cavill, non-Superman Henry Cavill.
But he has got safety goggles.
Yeah, so he won't get his eyes scratched out straight away.
Right.
I think Tony has a bit of a beast side,
A dark side.
like rabid,
Oh, okay.
like goes a bit primal. What is it? Is that right? Primal?
Yeah, prime, I guess.
Absolutely
Yeah.
mental, and it'll just rip him to shreds.
I'm
He's
also
got-
finding no evidence of Mr. Muscle actually doing anything incredible
He
here.
just stands about. He's a poser.
Just stands.
He's a
and he
poser.
poses. He
Mr. Muscle
poses.
is a poser. I'm glad
getting
you.
Is
worried.
Mr. Muscle a
I'm getting
Jim?
worried now.
Is Mr. Muscle a Jim Bro poser? We know that Tony the Tiger has at least competed in diving competitions.
He's got agility, strength, speed,
Yeah, he does have a
teeth
whole...
and claws. He's like a werewolf, but
But he
Tiger
doesn't have any
around him.
chemicals.
he doesn't have any chemicals.
No.
Apart from Frosties, which you can use as a mega shield if you glues them all together real quick.
He licks them.
That's the thing. Like, if we did bring into their product into account, is Mr. Muscle can melt Frosties with no problem.
Yeah, I don't think Tony'd be using Frosties there. He'd be just straight bound into
Boring.
one.
Oh man.
You'd be chucking bleach on the tiger, but it wouldn't act immediately,
I
and I think he'd get ripped.
Right, so the first thing I'm going to say is there is a photo here of Tony the Tiger and Shaquille O'Neal on Google, which then Tony the Tiger's holding a basketball, so there is a canon image of Tony the Tiger as a basketball player,
Oh,
Right.
which says
tigers can jump like 12 feet in the air.
which is the
like in
Celebrity
real
Crunch
life.
classic.
Oh, gee.
Look at them. He's pretty hench as well.
But I
Pretty
also
top heavy.
I also have really big concerns over the internet.
You got to be careful on there.
Yeah, because look, like
That's my fighter. That one there.
there's some real furry bait shit going on with Tony the Tiger. I'm a bit concerned, and I think Kellogg's may need to retire this character.
He's gone into a dark.
Like, what's going on here, guys?
Do you think Mr. Muscle's got anything?
Thank
like that?
fuck I use Shark VPN.
We're not sponsored.
Not sponsored at all.
Well, that's why I said shark and not Surfshark.
Oh, he said it now.
I mean, look, that one's got a rainbow thong
Look
on.
at that.
Like, why is there
Tony
toe?
is crying
but
over
we
there.
can't go off fan art. This is fan art.
But
That's got the what? Kellogg's logo on it.
that is Tony the dummy thick tiger.
See, I've only gone by images I've found that can be found on the product itself.
Yeah, no, I get that.
This is what you're saying. So,
Even still, my big boy, Tigger's big brother,
James, can I ask, where is the fight taking place?
in the jungle,
No.
in a cereal bowl,
No. The fight is taking place
in a supermarket.
in a super,
Yeah, I was gonna- okay, cool.
in a modified supermarket. And what I mean by modified is like they've cleared, like think like Fight Club style, but they've cleared out the shelves. There's a proper arena with like shelves all around the edges, and like Tesco's workers being all like, and it's like they've turned like your local supermarket into like a Roman Colosseum type thing.
So the shelves are now an octagon.
Yes, but
Okay.
the floor is still that horrible laminated floor.
Nice. It's like a weird cross
Okay,
between
so-
marble and laminate.
Yeah. And it's about 10 p.m.
Important.
I mean, I will say though that
So the vegetables are
in
starting
every
to get a bit...
photo I can find of Mr. Muscle, he's usually holding a Mr. Muscle spray bottle.
That's because he's
Oh,
a
he definitely
corporate
gets the
slave.
spray.
Kurt.
So I can use the spray.
You
Okay,
get a
cool.
spray.
Then Mr. Muscle would spray Tony in the eyes as much as possible
Give me an attack roll.
and in the mouth.
You have to combo that on your.
Nat 20.
Tony the Tiger pulls an Uno reverse card.
So Tony gets a bowl of cereal and a spoon.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying. So he immediately dashed them away.
He's also got a bandana.
He has.
He could
He
choke
could-
a mofo out with that bandana.
I think that he could probably cover his eyes with that bandana
Oh yeah, that's a good shout.
Okay.
But then he's
and
also
then run
still,
straight into
Oh,
a
dang.
wall.
he's also still blind.
But not.
But I mean, he could use the bandana so that if Mr. Muscle starts like using chemical warfare, he can still breathe.
Yeah, this is a tough one because it all depends on the first move. If you don't spray enough, and if it's close versus range, if Tony gets close, that's it for Mr. Muscle.
But
But
Tony
if you-
is a cat. If Mr. Muscle takes his belt off and starts waggling it in front of him, that cat's
He's
done.
also got a human brain, He
But-
won't fall for that.
But does Tony the Tiger, who canonically does not have shoes or gloves,
Or be like an ice rink?
yeah,
But they've got they've got grippy padded feet.
yeah, but like
They've adapted shoes.
yeah, but like my cat doesn't have fun on the lino in the kitchen.
But that's different to like the weird supermarket floor.
So what you're saying is, as long as it's not been mopped yet,
Oh yeah, if they haven't got to the mopping.
like if the wet floor sign's out, he's fucked.
So if Mr. Muscle spills all his bleach
Oh,
across
yeah,
the floor,
Okay.
That's a
Yep.
tactical move.
but then he hasn't got any bleach to throw in his eye.
No.
You have to ration it a little bit.
Yeah, but he could throw that fucking lab coat over. He could like bullfight with the lab coat.
I was
But
going to
then-
go with that. See, I kind of
He
wish
wouldn't fall
once you
for
said,
that.
once
Would you fall
said,
for that? Would you see someone waving a lab coat around and go, "Oh, get that instead"? No.
so
Yeah.
once you said Tony
Tony's-
the Tiger, I kind of
Tony's,
wish I went with something, that instantly beats tigers, like
Cocoa
a
Pops
dragon
monkey.
or something, some kind of dragon.
The Quaker Oats man.
Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben would be a fucking badass.
I went safe with Mr. Muscle, thinking he's got bleach. He
I was trying to.
clears drains. He's muscly.
So after I,
See, I was
very
thinking-
prematurely said Tony the Tiger, I was trying to think of someone with a weapon and I just couldn't.
So here's an article on The Grocer with the UK's most powerful grocery mascots
Oh dear. This is it. This is the official.
in 2022. Now, I genuinely don't believe that they're using powerful in the same context as us.
It's probably, is it money wise,
Quite possibly.
the most profitable?
But
Okay.
What sells
Yeah,
more
but-
muscle?
but- just to help spark the debate further, Captain Birdseye,
oh, he's an old man.
but he's got a boat.
He's also
Yeah, but
aren't they like
boats are
all I
pointless in
think
a
of is oil
supermarket.
spills.
Yeah, boats are pointless in a supermarket.
Fredo,
Frog.
This gets more expensive. It's an economy crisis.
He's a capitalist. He is.
Kevin the Carrot,
Who the hell? Oh,
Aldi.
from Aldi. Mm. Boy,
Coco the Monkey,
see?
Yeah.
Monkey.
Well, we've already got a cereal guy up there.
the M&Ms.
The M&M.
Oh yeah, there's two of them.
There's like five of them.
There's
isn't
five
there?
of them. Yeah.
There's the brown one, the green one.
What, is it the green one that gets naked?
Isn't it the brown
It's
one?
the
That's
yellow
the
one, isn't
sexy
it? No.
one.
The yellow one's the dumb one, right? Like he's like
The yellow
Patrick
one's
from.
the
Yeah.
dumb one. The red
Yeah.
one's the normal
The
one.
normal.
The yellow one's his like sidekick dumb one. The green one's the one who was kind of sexy, but then they changed it. And then the brown one's the one who was super sexy.
Oh yeah, with the glasses.
That's it, innit?
Yeah.
I didn't know this was his name, but Julius Pringle,
Oh,
He'd
the Pringle guy.
win with his mustache.
the Duracell bunny.
Oh man,
the
yeah.
powerful bunny. He's literally powerful.
He looks weird now though. I've got a friend who works at Duracell, and as soon as I heard she got the job, she works in the marketing department. I asked her, "What the hell did you do to the bunny?" The teeth. It looks too friendly now. Before it was like really, although it was pink and fluffy, it was still quite a hench little bunny.
They've kind of done
It's
the
too
opposite of what
cute
they.
now.
They've kind of done the opposite of what they did to Sonic the Hedgehog. You know, with the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, where everyone bullied an entire
Yeah.
film studio into making Sonic look like Sonic.
Yeah,
They've kind of done the opposite, where they've made it more and more weird and less like it should look.
yeah.
Percy Pig.
Oh man.
Percy Pig, I don't think has much in the way of fight, but he's pretty iconic. Why aren't Percy Pigs bacon flavored?
Because they'd be disgusting.
Chilies.
That'd be the worst thing ever.
The pepperami animal.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that was
the
his name.
screaming dude thing.
I mean, he's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty ferocious as well, and he
Pretty
looks like an
rabid.
angry dick.
He would get inside whoever
He looks
fights.
genuinely the guy looks like an angry cock. Sorry, angry waffle in the pubic area.
Just cementing your point there.
Oh yeah.
And then the last one on this list is a true icon of the British food industry.
Can we try and guess?
Go on then.
Oh man.
Is it Tony the Tiger?
No, Tony
I've got
Tiger.
it.
Tony
Can you
Tiger's
give us a clue?
a waste man.
Can
Well, I
you give us
said food.
Okay, so in food.
Oh,
in
food. That's,
I mean,
I
wanna say Uncle
Colin
Ben.
the Caterpillar.
Uncle
Is
Ben,
he a mascot?
no.
Or he is the
he
food.
is the mascot.
Well, he's a source of great debate, isn't he? Because you get like Colin the Caterpillar and then Clive the Caterpillar.
Well, Colin's the original, isn't it?
No, I know, but everyone
Cuthbert.
was it. Marks and Spencer's tried to trademark Colin the Caterpillar.
Yes, and
they
Aldi tried to
sue
rip him
out
off. Yeah.
Aldi, yeah. Cuthbert.
Clyde the millipede.
Oh, I'm trying to think a staple of the food industry in the UK.
Yeah, like
Is it the red cow from Dairy Lee?
No, but that is a fucking good one.
That's the laughing cow.
Oh, the laughing cow.
Like, that's
the,
US,
the laughing cow and the Dairy
Green
cow.
giant.
Oh.
I should have picked the green giant.
Green giant would win because he's basically the food version of the Hulk.
Yeah.
He's literally like the Hulk, but sweet corn.
Mm.
Oh, man.
He's a good one.
That's such a good one for next time.
Yeah.
When we go to the supermarket, I'm grabbing green giant sweet corn.
Well, so am I.
Oh, shit.
It's going to be a sweet corn.
We can't do supermarket now. We have to do some other product.
This is a corn off the cob.
Is it the Nesquik bunny?
Nope.
Who else
Don't think of a product. Think of a range of products.
A range of products. Linda McCartney.
Icon. Fucking. But kind of down that path. I'll give you that. You're getting warmer.
Oh, wow.
Is it an animal?
No.
Is it a person?
Yes.
It's not like some weird
Mystical thing.
like bottle that's sentient.
Sentient bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the icon of British cooking.
Yeah.
Bottle-o.
So it's a human man or a
The
woman.
baby from Fairy Liquid.
No.
Oh, that's not food.
That's
Food.
Yeah.
So I was thinking this, with the badass baby with the Mohican.
he'd win.
I was thinking like,
Hasn't he canonically got a motorbike as well?
Yeah.
He's
So
also
he's
canonically
basically
tiny.
He's essentially the soapy version of Ghost Rider, right?
Yeah. But he's also tiny because he fits in like a cup.
yeah.
Yeah, but to be fair, he would probably fuck up Tony the Tiger just by putting soap everywhere.
I didn't think about any of this stuff. No, we should have asked the question of where was the fight happening.
You had all the things to beat Tony the Tiger because I said him so quickly.
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
such
I
a...
know.
Oh, who's going to
I
beat
know.
that?
I went for the safe option of Mr. Muscle. Sure,
You were like, yeah, muscly guy.
In
he
all,
must win.
in all honesty, I don't blame either of you because I thought, like, when I first came up with the question, I thought Tony the Tiger would fucking kick ass. And then I was like, oh shit, no, wait, Mr. Muscle would kick ass. And then, like, so both of you have really fucked up here, but you've still not guessed who the number one, like, food mascot for Britain is.
Number one food mascot for
one.
Britain.
So you were counting down.
Yeah,
Up,
yeah.
Down.
I was doing.
Are they on?
like,
Do they have lots of TV adverts and things like all the time?
I think they have done throughout the years.
Have done.
I mean, I don't watch enough TV now because I pretty much stream.
Yeah.
But sponsor me. But I would say like it's a character that's been around longer than us. Like,
Right.
I do not know a world without this mascot.
Man, this is a really hard question. There's so many out there.
I feel like we've totally gone off track here.
A
but
range,
that's okay.
but I like it.
of foods, like a whole like menu.
Yeah, like you can make a meal explicitly from this company.
Is it the Milky Bar Kid?
No,
Strong and tough.
The Milky Bar Kid's a massive dweeb.
But he's strong and tough.
He's like if a virgin was a chocolate bar.
Oh.
He's Nestle's Milky Bar. Oh, no. Damn.
Bar of cum.
Who is it?
Who is it?
If neither of you get it, then I get the point. For
No,
this.
that's not how this works.
Dan's desperate for a point.
Well, I am desperate for a point. I'm
Dan doesn't want to be the first person to go away with no points.
desperate for a wee. Or is this what's determining the point, is it?
No.
Think of this.
No. Realistically, both of your mascots have been piss poor, so I'm just going to have to decide
Yep.
by
What do you
letting
mean
the
they've been? I
two
thought
of you
mine's
fight
been
to the
pretty-
death.
Wasn't the worst one.
You pretend you've got muscles, I pretend I've got a tiger. I am a tiger.
I mean, Kurt, I can give Kirk a bottle of bleach from under the fucking sink, and we can go
Give me a bowl
in
of
the garden right now.
give me a bowl of frosting
Bring
and see
your
what
cat.
happens.
Yeah. Kylo versus bleach. Let's go.
Terrible idea. I'm at a loss right now. I can't think of anyone anymore in terms of a famous mascot for food.
The Monopoly Man.
Food.
Just food in general.
If you eat the board, it's food.
I would say this person specialises in frozen food.
Oh, is it Aunt Bessie?
It's Aunt Bessie.
Oh my god.
It's Aunt Bessie, the OG Aunt Bessie, the one woman who I would let cook over any other woman in the world.
Well done, sir.
She makes filthy Yorkshire puddings
She does.
Oh my god. And
roast
stuffing.
potatoes.
and stuffing and roast potatoes, and I'm sure she even
There's
does
chips now.
Chips.
Does she do like
If it's a frozen carbohydrate, she probably does it.
Roast potatoes, yeah, she does it all.
doesn't she do vegetables as well now?
Probably.
I know
I think
Captain
so.
Birdseye does veg. So
Yeah.
between her and Captain Birdseye, you could have like a full. Are they married? Is Bessie's surname Birdseye?
Bessie Birds.
Is she Aunt Bessie Birdseye?
Oh man,
We're onto something here.
And like he comes home from
Conspiracy.
a long voyage, and she's like, "Hello, dear. I've microwaved some vegetables and Yorkshire puddings. Have you brought the fish?" He's like, "Oh, our love, I've bought some fish fingers. Let me give you a fishy finger."
Broken.
fishy finger.
Then the Milky Bar kid comes down the stairs. Mom, Dad, what's going on?
Adopted.
Gotta be.
And Uncle Ben comes round from next door. And he's like, "Hey, babies, you want some rice on
Kind of
that
feel like
fish?"
Uncle Ben would be with Aunt Bessie.
And then
though, right?
Tony the Tiger bursts through the windows and mauls them all to death.
Mr. Muscle cleans up.
Mr. Muscle cleans up.
Mr. Muscle, crime scene investigator.
And they both... No, they were accomplices there.
Oh, so
Tony
what's
does the
happened?
murdering.
What's happened
Mr. Muscle.
is after the first round in Tesco's where they fought to the death, they decided to team up
and
commit
ruin the
murders.
frozen food industry.
They're getting too powerful out there.
Meanwhile, the mayor of Chicago town sitting there evilly.
What, pulling the strings?
String cheese.
Technically, his own mascot.
Yeah, the cheese string
Oh, cheese string dude.
Got the hair.
And
Cheese hair.
is cheese string dude, right? Is he infinitely, like, what's the word I'm thinking
At
of?
what point does he die when you stop
Yeah,
peeling?
right.
Like,
How
does,
far
if
can he
you
peel?
tear a bit off him, does that reproduce? Does he become a new cheese string?
I mean,
Well, if you tear a bit off with like his eye on it, does he just lose an eye?
oh damn.
I think he dies. I think he's just a poor excuse.
Do you remember when cheese string tried to claim that it was like a good source of calcium?
Yeah.
Do you remember that advert where the kid put Tipp-Ex on his nails and went home to his mom and he was like, "Oh, I'm so ill." And she looked at his nails. She's like, "Oh, you need calcium," and bought him a load of fucking cheese strings as if that was going to make a fucking difference.
Oh no.
You look back on all that stuff and you wonder how corporations did it.
I mean, even some of the adverts now are just cringe. Well, everything's just how do you that must go through however many people to get put on TV. How does that many people go, yeah, that's fine?
There's quite a lot of adverts that get banned, isn't there? Because
Yeah.
they're like too sexy.
Not even that, just bad ideas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they get through a board. I've worked with a lot of these boards, and I can see how it happens.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, idiots.
Because they're all too fucking bored.
Man. So, James, you've heard our arguments. Mr. Muscle versus Tony the Tiger. Who wins?
Mr. Cuck or Tony the Tank?
Who's the biggest twat waffle?
Who's the biggest twat waffle? Who's the biggest waffle in the pubic area?
Godfrey de Chat. Cat. Tiger.
The shut.
Godfrey de Chat.
Like, so it's such a tough one because I don't think either of you have given me a valid argument as to why the other would win. But
Would a tiger beat a nerd? Yes.
yeah, like if we strip it back down to chemical warfare or not, would a tiger beat a nerd? I'm going to go with Tony the Tiger. The point.
Oh, man. We've got one each. That's nuts.
Yeah, it had to go.
Well, that
that
had to
way.
happen.
It was almost 2-1 nothing. In two scenarios, my coin flip got overturned.
So that means the scores at the end of the first episode are 1-1.
Wow.
I think you should write that down. Just in case.
I think this just shows you the tension that we're in for the rest of the season. I think we should are we going to use this opportunity to decide who picks the next round 3 fight?
You got yours ready?
No, but I will have.
I've got mine ready.
Oh, okay.
Been sitting on this for weeks.
In that case, Dan can do it next week. So that means he's got to wait for another week for his first question, though.
Oh,
I'm fine with that.
okay. So next week we're going to have Dan do round 3 fight.
Cannot wait.
Obviously, this is a new show, so the format's still subject to change, and hopefully we can work out a few kinks and improve things as we go along. Please give us your feedback and tell us what you like and what you didn't like. And if you've got any ideas for questions or things that you think that we could argue about for the best part of an hour, please do send them in to us. But you can contact us on Spotify, you can contact us on Facebook, you can contact us on Instagram, on Twitter, when we get those set up.
Yeah, we'll make some.
If you know us personally, you can text us or WhatsApp us. But yeah, we do really appreciate comments and feedback, guys, and we hope that we can get something going with this, as we've had a lot of fun recording it, and we hope you've had a lot of fun listening to it.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you again for episode 2 of Would a Panther Kill a Raccoon in the Wild?
Chicka chicka wah wah, chicka chicka wah wah, chicka chicka wah wah wah, bam bam, chicka chicka wah wah, chicka chicka wah wah, chicka chicka wah wah wah, bam bam, chicka chicka wah wah, chicka chicka wah wah, chicka chicka pa chick wah.
That's a panther noise, right?